Very good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the second chapter of your English literature, Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Nelson Mandela was the first black president of South Africa. This chapter is an extract from his autobiography, A Long Walk to Freedom. So, what is an autobiography? We have already seen in the previous class. An autobiography is a self written life story. So, this chapter is taken from the life story of Nelson Mandela. This chapter is telling about his life story, how he became a freedom fighter, and he is paying tribute to the other freedom fighters also, those who have contributed to the freedom of South Africa. Dear students, now we are going to read the chapter. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by the dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. So he is saying that before 10th May itself, many international dignitaries, who are the dignitaries? The greatest leaders from the world. So many great leaders, they surrounded me. They gathered here for appreciating our achievement. And this is the first time a big gathering is going to happen in South African soil. So many leaders from across the world are gathered here for this special occasion, for this inauguration of South Africa. So, this is the first time a big inauguration is going to happen in the South African soil. So, they all are here for appreciating the people of Africa and me. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Building in Pretoria. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non racial government. And he is continuing that. This occasion, this ceremonies is going to take place in the Union buildings in Pretoria. What is Pretoria? Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. And before this Pretoria, this South Africa was the site of white supremacy. We all know that South Africa was under the rule of white people. So before this inauguration, this South Africa was the site of white supremacy. And now what is going to happen? Now it is no more the site of white supremacy. It is the site of rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. Now this is a site of rainbow colors. It means many people and many leaders from the from many parts of the world, they are gathered here. Before this it was a site of white supremacy. Now it will not be like that. A change has taken place. What is this change? Africa's first democratic, non racial government is going to take place, is going to take the pledge. What is non racial? Non racial means there will not be any kind of separation in the basis of color. So, this is a very special occasion for me and for the South African people because a non racial democratic government is going to take the oath or going to take the pledge. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zenani. On the podium, Mr. de Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well being of the Republic and its people. To the assembled guest and the watching world, I said. So, Nelson Mandela came to this occasion with his daughter. Many people have taken the pledge as the first deputy president and as the second deputy president. Now it is my turn, and I have taken my pledge to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well being of the Republic and its people. And what was my pledge? My pledge was I obey the Constitution of South Africa and I work for the well being of the people. So it is my duty from now onwards to look after the people and look after the well being of the South Africa. Now I have taken my pledge and I said to the world. Now he is going to start his speech. Today, all of us do, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of the extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. We, who were outlaws not so long ago, have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nation of the world on our own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. So now Nelson Mandela he is saying that I thank to the all distinguished guest who has who came here. This is the victory. This is the victory of South African people. Long back, we were under the supremacy of white people. Now it will not be further. A change has taken place, as I said. Now I feel very glad to be here and I have taken my pledge that I look after the country. So I am thanking to all the distinguished guests, those who are here to witness this wonderful occasion. And this is the common victory of justice. What was the justice? The freedom is the justice. Because no further we will be separated as white and black. Even though we black people are also the citizens of South Africa, but we were treated as the second class citizen. Who all are the first class citizen? The white people, and we all were treated as the second class citizen. Now, no longer it will not be there. We have achieved our freedom. We have achieved our liberty. Before that, we were outlaws. What is outlaws? The people, those who were not having any kind of legal protection. So we were outlaws. Now it will not be like that. We have achieved the victory of justice for peace, for human dignity. And he continues, we have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. So he is saying that never again those time of bondage will come, because that was the story. We were under the bondage, and we have suffered a lot. We were discriminated, and we were under the poverty, because we know when the citizens are going to be discriminated into two different categories. They were discriminated into two different categories. The white people, they were having all the liberty, they were having all the freedom, and the native of this Africa, they were treated as a second class citizen. They were outlaws. They didn't get any kind of freedom. So as a result of without protection of laws, they were having the poverty, and they were treated very badly by the white people. Now I promise that these kinds of things will not taken place again. This is a glorious human achievement. It's a glorious moment that we have achieved our humanity, we have achieved our freedom. So he is saying, God blesses Africa. Here we can say that because when the people are under bondage, they used to say always it will be the curse of God. Now we got freedom. The God has blessed us. Now the situation will never go how it was in the past. The God, the God really blesses Africa. And he end his speech, God blesses Africa. Dear student, the further chapter we'll discuss in the second